Hey, welcome back to the channel. Everyday carry, EDC. We're all about that, aren't we? We like to carry enough gear to kind of handle things because we just like to be prepared, right? That's the kind of guys we are. But as you look at these right here, a good med kit, EDC pouch with all your essentials in it, or maybe you just carry a knife, a flashlight, a lighter, uh, maybe a little slip joint, whatever. There's something missing from this picture. And it's old school, guys. It's old school. For all you young cats out there, one of the best things that you can carry in your EDC is this. It's called a bandana. And I've been carrying these since I was a kid. Right now, the EDC hanks are all the rage. But I'm going to tell you something. They don't come close to the bang for your buck that these simple square pieces of cotton cloth do for you, and why so many people carry these. So if you'd like to hear about the history of these and some of the advantages of carrying this for your EDC carry, go ahead and check out the video. Hey, welcome back to the Fortified Castle, endless source of fantastic, interesting information. And today we're talking about a simple piece of cloth, but it's not that simple. So I've been carrying these since I was a kid. We used to do that in the old days. This is what we carried. We didn't carry those fancy, crazy looking hanks. We carried these, and this is called a paisley pattern. It's been like this for over 100 years, these type of patterns. Of course, nowadays, you can get these in all kinds of crazy patterns. You can get them in plaids, Scottish plaids, and different things like that. But what's the advantage of carrying this, and why was it so popular 50, 60 years ago, and seems to have dropped from popularity, at least in certain segments of society, the urban society. I think with construction workers, sailors, farmers, people that ride horses, that kind of community, they still use these. They still carry them every day. They're easy to carry, by the way. This is, when you fold this up, it's not as thick as a hank is. And so it's actually, I think, easier to carry than one of those hanks. But I'm going to give you 24 different reasons to carry these, 24 different things that you can do with these, and that are really helpful for you in your everyday carry. But before I do that, why don't I talk about the history of these a little bit. And so up there in the picture, you can see in that picture, if you look carefully, there is a bandana in that picture, and it dates from 500 BC, 500 years before the birth of Christ. And so these things have been around for a long time. They seem to have originated from the Middle East, and this paisley design seems to hearken to the Kashmir region in Pakistan and India. At one time, that region was under the control of the Persians, and that's where this type of symbol seems to hearken from, is the Persian Empire. And so pretty long, but being established in India when trade was opened up in the middle of the 1700s, these things started coming into Western Europe. They were cashmere. These are cotton. So the cashmere ones were really popular. They worked their way down to the lowly folks, and the cashmere was replaced with cotton. Scotland ended up making these because the ones coming out of India were expensive. And so for a long time, I think people have associated these paisley designs with the Scottish, but it's really not Scottish. It's Middle Eastern, and they've been around a long time. So I'm putting up now different pictures of different types of people that have bandanas on. They've been used by all kinds of folks. They're even used by gang members to signify, gang affiliation, depending on the colors that they are. So widely used. And that name, bandana, is like I mentioned, a Indian descent, Pakistani Indian, and it's Badhnati, and that word means to bind, and comes from the Kashmir region. It was Sanskrit was the language, and sometime in the early 1700s, the name was changed to Badannnoe, and that's Portuguese. And from there, it became bandana. And so that's the source of the name on this thing. And really interesting history for this little piece of cloth. So this is 20 inches here. They can go up to 22 inches. I like the 22-inch ones. And a bandana is smaller than a shema by quite a bit, but it's also larger than a handkerchief. And so a handkerchief is only around 12 inches. And of course, nowadays we have another variation, which is the hank, and those hanks are around 6 to 8 inches. About this size right here is the size of a hank. So, these are, to me, a perfect size for all kinds of uses. In the upcoming video, as I tell you what you can use this for, I've used them for a lot of those purposes. And hope you enjoy the upcoming suggestions on how to use these. You can use a bandana as a headband or a sweatband. You can use a bandana as a washcloth. You could use a bandana as a head covering, either for sun protection or to keep your head warm. You can also use a bandana as a towel to dry you in your face. You can use a bandana as a filter to filter water out of the stream and make it clean. You can use a bandana as a carry bag. So maybe you're gathering mushrooms, or maybe you're gathering roots, herbs, nuts, whatever the case may be. Or maybe you just need a little extra something to carry something else. So you just tuck these in here like this. They untie easily, by the way. Tie the other two corners like this. Just a little simple knot. Grab your other one. Now you have a little carry bag. You can use this to make cordage, rope. So this is 20 inches long. Some of them are 22 inches long, depending on how long this is. If you cut this into 1-inch strips, you'll have 20 1-inch strips, or 22, depending on how wide your bandana is. When you tie those ends together, it's going to equal 33 feet to 40 feet, depending on what size bandana you get. That's a pretty good advantage to get cordage out of this. You can also cut up strips of this and use it as tinder in a fire. Take your bandana like you were going to make a sweatband, which the way I do that is a triangle. But if you take it and curl it up like this, just like you were going to make a sweatband, soak that in water and put it around your neck. That'll cool your body temperature 10 degrees. Marine desert warfare training. It's amazing. You can feel it almost immediately. You can use that on the job in the summer to cool yourself down by 10 degrees. The way it works is you have the water evaporating and it's right next to your jugular veins. You have 2 jugular veins, one on either side, and it cools your blood as it evaporates. Really works to cool you down. So you can use this as an ice pack. You just put some ice in the middle there, you tote it over, tie it like that. You got a little ice pack, you put that on your muscle, your neck, your jaw, whatever is hurting, and it'll relieve some of that pain and take the swelling down. Ice pack. So you can use this as a pot holder. You square it up like that. Probably going to be more useful on the trail when you're out camping. You got you a pot in there cooking some water up for some soup, or maybe even some soup. You put your bandana over the pot holder, pull it off, and it's a nice little pot holder that keeps you from burning your hands. So you're out there during cold weather and climate weather, you're caught without any gloves, you're really cold, you take your hands inside here, fold it over on opposite ends like this, or really any way that you want. Pinch it with your hand, you grab it right like this, and you just wrap it up, and you got you a glove for your hand. You can tie these ends off if you tie these ends off right here. Now you got gloves, keep your hands a little warm in the cold. You can use this to tie a splint. So you put 2 pieces of wood on either side of the break and wrap this around and tie it real tight, and it'll help tie the splint on. If you don't have a couple bandanas, or you're the only one that has one, no one else does, then you can cut this up and make strips of 20 inches long. That's pretty long. More than enough room to tie a splint. Bandanas also make excellent tourniquets. And so best tourniquet is one that you can really pressure on. But if you've got nothing else, these make great things to make tourniquet with. They're also kind of a bandage. So not only are you wrapping it to be a tourniquet, but you can make it a little bit wider and maybe protect the wound or the break as you tie a tourniquet. You can also use it to wrap a sprain. So like a sprained ankle, sprained wrist, elbows, you want that to be tight to help relieve the pain, and bandana is perfect for that. Bandanas also make a great face mask. So if you've ever ridden horses, for instance, you know how dusty that can get, but you don't have to just ride horses. Just walking in an area. How many times have you walked down a trail on a windy day, kicking up a lot of dust in the dry summertime, and you're getting that all in your mouth? So these work great. Also keep your face warm in the winter. You know, these things make a great signal, so you can put it out on the ground in a square, either orange or red, and it'll help draw attention to you if you're in trouble. It's a really, really big square there, and really good for that. So you should always have an orange one on you, or red, or even a reflective one if you can get a hold of a reflective one. They're also good just to, you're walking down the trail, just flip it around and brush flies, mosquitoes, and bugs away from you. Like those old little horsetail brushes. Yeah, that's what these are good for too. If you have an eye injury on the job or out on the trail, especially if you're out camping or on the trail, roll it up like you would for a sweatband, and you can tie this across your eye on your head, just like a sweatband on your head, and put that across your eye. It's nice and soft. It'll keep the eye injury clean, and that's primary benefit. Keep light out too if that's a problem with your injured eye. So another thing I've used these for is pot silencers, or silencer, just a, period, a silencer. And what I'm talking about is sometimes you're carrying around, canisters or cooking devices, different things like that, and they'll rattle around. Mess kits are notorious for that, and I actually use this on a mess kit that I have. I couldn't find it for the video, but yeah, I just rolled up the metal utensils and put this inside the mess kit, just kind of loose like this, and it silenced the mess kit so it's not rattling around in my pack. Another thing that you can do for these is you can cut swaths of this out and use it to patch clothing. And so that's why you should always have a sail needle on you, but it'll patch up clothing, repair packs, and things like that. So it's just all around good cloth material to have in case you need some type of material to patch something up. I've tied these around my tennis shoes before temporarily. That's kind of embarrassing, but yeah, my tennis shoe kind of flopped out, and I just tied it around and walked that way to the vehicle, walked out. All right, that's pretty much all I got. It's like 24 different uses for a bandana. They're absolutely fabulous. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video on 24 different uses for this. They are great EDC items. I just put them in my back pocket. Sometimes I've been carrying them in, this is new for me, this pouch idea. Sometimes I carry it in the pouch, but I like to just stick them in my back pocket. When I wear cargo pants, I stick them down in my cargo pants, and I usually wear cargo pants, so it's no problem for me to carry these, and they really come in handy, especially if you have a family. You'll use this a lot with your kids. Once again, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate all of you for watching the video, for your likes and for your comments, and God bless y'all.